Okay, great morning. It is Thursday the 10th, and trying to wait for the 54 degrees out there this morning, so it's chilly. Chilly willies. Anyway, I was so excited because it looked like we were going to close Thursday or Friday. They came back and said no, won't be able to get to it at least until Monday. So push back again. Not going to happen. I'm not going to get in there early. So, it is what it is. So this too will pass eventually. Eventually I'll get in the house. Not this week. So let's look and see what we have this morning. First card out, the Golden Path Within. The Golden Path Within. Attachment. I think I'll grab this. And last but not least, we have Eight of Cups, walking away. Okay, so I had a feeling that's where this was going. Okay, so if you are going to follow the golden path within, you want to get to realization, then one thing that has to happen is letting go of these attachments. Developing, this is the walking away from these attachments is developing vairagya. They call it vairagya, non-attachment. Now, I have one student that the attachment was the sun. If you are really attached to somebody and you not willing to face that death before death because fear of loss of someone, fear of loss of something, then you might as well immerse yourself in the realm of duality, because you are fooling yourself if you think that you are ready to go forward to realization, because it does take letting go of everything. If you are not willing to surrender yourself 100%, which again entails that feeling of the going through a death, then you're going to have a difficulty. People want to have their cake and eat it too. I want realization, but I want to cling to the things of this world. I don't want to lose. I want to get more. So people have this idea that ego is going to get enlightened. I'm going to become a bigger, better me. Okay? Well, that's not what happens. It's not what happens. No, there's nothing wrong with this world. There's nothing wrong with it. So, the thing is, if you want to go forward and you have that driving desire to know God, to know truth, more than anything else in the world, and I mean it has to be more than anything else in this world, then you will develop non-attachment vairagya and will be willing to walk away from these things. Okay? Doesn't mean that they don't come back into view after realization, but the consciousness is no longer attached to them. Okay? Not in that same vein. Okay? So again, that also the thing of suffering, Buddha said that suffering is people not wanting to change, not wanting change. They want things to remain the same. But part of the thing is always change. Everything is in flux. The only thing that remains the same and unchanging is the divine is, that primal energy of life. That is always whole, complete, unchanging as it is. When it goes through the spectrum, okay, the divisionary light of energy, motion, then it has an appearance of separation, okay, duality, okay. And in that, in the realm of duality, things are always changing, always in flux. Just wait, this too will pass, okay. So another thing, if you're going to become more centered, then you have to give up these uber attachments. Sometimes, in your path, you will lose everything and have to begin over. Now, that's happened here a number of times. I've lost everything. I had a little RV, a friend, quote unquote friend of mine, had a place where they could store, little RVs and stuff for free. So she was supposed to take my little RV. It had everything I owned in it, was supposed to put it in her storage. She didn't do that. I lost everything I had. Some things that were very special to me, some things that my guru had given me, everything was gone in one fell swoop. So I know how people feel that have just gone through the fires and their whole home had burnt down. Everything they had was gone. Basically, all they had was the clothes on their back. I've been there a couple of times, 2-3 times. I've, through circumstances, lost everything. Okay. And it can feel very devastating, but you will recover. You will go forward. Life does go on. And, sometimes it forces you to look at the path within it, what's really important. Some of the people they were very fortunate. They had just bought an RV, just bought it. And they lost their home. They got out with their family. They had gotten their father out. He lost his home, everything. They got out there with their lives, their pets intact, and were counting their blessings that they have a place now to stay until they rebuild and recover. So that was big grace in their lives to have that, okay? And they, again, sometimes, you know, these types of circumstances cause one to go in on oneself and question things, what is most important. Or one can get severely in a dump in the woe is me cycle and the big pity party for a time, which eventually you see through that it's not helping anything. It just makes you feel more miserable. This is not to say you're going to be thrilled you lost everything. Nobody's thrilled when they lose everything. Okay, it's a very devastating feeling. Okay, if you lose everything, and people as well that are losing have lost their jobs because of corona. They're being evicted out on the street. And when you're out on the street, it's very tough to get back on your feet and get moving forward. Again, I've had that experience of losing everything, being on the street, and then having to, you know, pull yourself up and start again, you know. Be able to find another job, be able to find a way to go forward. But you do. You will find a way, okay? Now, especially during this time, we have to be so mindful that so many people are really going through crisis at this time, whether it's because they have lost and they've been evicted because of corona, okay, or they've lost everything due to a fire, whatever reason it is, or you're feeling, you know, that you've lost family members because of corona, and you've just heard, you know, the Tangerine Tyrant on tape saying, oh, this is worse than anything. And then he gets out there and says, it's just another flu. Don't worry about it. It's going to be gone. He knew. That's not the case. 100% knew, and he lied. And then saying, I just don't want to create panic. No, there's a difference between absolute lying about something that is deadly and versus saying, we have this situation, we will get through it, don't panic, let's take the steps necessary. That's not what he did. Okay, it's not what he did. So anyway, we have, whatever the circumstances are, things are in flux. They're always in flux. At this present time, we just happen to have a bigger preponderance of things happening all at once, okay? But again, we will get through this a step at a time, and we can become better because of it, because it has caused a big wake up in seeing that there are things that we have to change, okay? It's not going to change unless we change it, okay? So that's something that can come out of this. We're the ones that need to step up to the plate and look at things rather than think somebody else is going to do it. Okay? We're the ones that have to step in and say, you know, we want this change, we need it to change, and we have to be a part of the change. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here. Much love and light. Thank you for coming and spending some time with me. And here we go again. I'm feeling again today, now I'm hoping I'm not losing my hearing because that thing is so loud, but it's like I'm up in the, going up the mountain, you know how your ears close? It drives you crazy, you want to hear, and you're just going, That's what's going on with me this morning. Oh, so I think I'm going to have the hearing checked and figure out what's going on. If this is due to some things working in the universe, things shifting. You know, sometimes when things shifts, you can go through these different feelings and the things that happen as well. If you are someone that is sensitive to those universal changes in energy and things. So I have to figure out which this is. What, Mr. Max? Mr. Max is telling me he wants to go OUT, and it is COLD out there cold this morning. Yes, Mr. Max. Yes, Mr. Max. I have to look and see if I can find one of his little coats, because it is cold out there. Yes, okay, Mama gonna look. I'm gonna look. I am. I tell you, I will. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave this here, and I've got something to show you, show and tell. I did get my new hat yesterday. They called me and I went down to Tularosa and picked it up. So I'm going to do the reveal on the next video.